Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Horror Movie Night. This episode is brought to you by one of our favorite people on the Facebook page, a man that we all know and love as Don. You can follow him on Twitter. I'm not even going to try to struggle through this last name, so we're just going to spell out his Twitter account here. It's at KLASSENDON1. Go ahead and follow him on Twitter. He's a blast. We love Don so much, him and his houseboat. So go and follow Don on Twitter, and now let's talk about a movie.
Hey, one quick thing about Don. His last name is Klassen. It's not even hard to say.
All right.
I was going to say.
And another quick shout out for Don. If you are an Instagrammer, he posts some awesome black and white photography as Don Klassen.
All right. Cool. We're seriously going to need some paper towels and wet naps on this week's episode because we are going on a sexy road trip with Hell Comes to Frogtown. We got sperm. Tons of sperm. Really, too much of it. It goes everywhere. And if you don't believe us, you can just ask this sassy black doctor lady.
I approve this message.
So strap on your explosive cod piece and please, for the love of God, don't touch your fucking earrings because it's horror movie night. So this one...
What, you don't like my sassy black lady?
Only if you're going to be talking about Flavor of Love Episode 3. Season 2, Episode 3.
We didn't send him a reminder, to be fair. He asked us to remind him. All right, so we're talking about Hell Comes to Frogtown, which was picked by our very own Adam. So, Adam, explain yourself.
When I saw the trailer for Hell Comes to Frogtown 10 years ago, like a decade ago, I didn't think I'd ever get the opportunity to see it, let alone the 25 fucking times that I've seen this movie.
Wow. Wait. This is historic. This is actually a film that you've watched before choosing it for our show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I rewatched it again just to get a couple of notes of maybe some small things I might have missed, but I could scene for scene tell you everything that happens in this movie. No fucking problem whatsoever. I could tell you the characters' names. I could tell you the frog people's names. I love this movie. So yeah, forever ago, I think it was on. I forget where I saw the trailer, but Rowdy Roddy Piper. I was 16 or something at the time. I had just seen They Live, so I was super excited that Rowdy Roddy was in it. Super excited that there was frog people in it, and then. I mean, I didn't know that there was going to be so much rape in it, but that's kind of a total theme for our show here, so it all fits in well. That's perfect.
So, have you seen the sequels and spin-offs?
What?
Yeah, there's a Return to Frogtown, and then it looks like there's a guy that made some Frogtowns too that's just trying to cash in on it.
So here's the exact wording on Wikipedia. The movie's called The Toad Warrior. It was released in 1996, but then re-released as Max Hell Frog Warrior in 2002. But according to the director, Jackson, the film was intended as a standalone story, and this is my favorite sentence I've read in a long time. It used it used a technique known as Zen filmmaking, in which no scripts are being used.
I got another name for that, and it's called shit filmmaking.
Just making it up as you go along, filmmaking.
But check this out. IMDb, Toad Warrior gets a 2.9 star rating, but Max Hell Frog Warrior somehow bumps up to 3.4. Change the name. People are going to like it.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so let's talk about Hell Comes to Frogtown, which I don't have a ton of notes, but I've got plenty to discuss about those. So all it took was one dramatic croak in the beginning of this movie to remind me how much I like this film. The movie starts off with a masked individual lying in the desert, and there's a bit of a scuffle, and then a gunshot is fired, and the camera zooms in very slowly into this masked individual's face, and you're waiting for him to, like, take off the mask or say some badass line, and instead he just croaks, makes a frog croak, and then it just immediate credits. And I'm like, this is the best way this movie could ever start.
I think I'd like this movie better if it just ended right there.
That was the pinnacle of the movie for you?
No, I just mean this movie is garbage, and I just wish it would have been over.
All right, so you're not a fan of our hero, Sam Hell, who is
known rapist.
The pussy grabber, as I like to call him.
So here's the thing that's super weird about this movie, and I mean, I don't know enough rapists, so maybe this is normal. But like,
when you say you don't know enough, are you saying like, I don't know enough? I wish I knew more.
I wish there was more. So he's depicted, and when they first reveal him, it's like, this man's just been raping across the country and impregnating women all willy-nilly. But then like throughout the rest of the movie, any time that they're like, yo, have sex with this girl, he's like, I don't feel so okay about this. Like, he has like a weird morality code suddenly about like...
Well, here's the thing, is not only is he a known rapist, we know that right from the start, but shortly into the movie, they tie a woman up, drug her, and then force him to rape her as well. So it's like no one in this movie is cool. They're all bad people. They're all terrible, terrible people.
And only to make that scene worse is that the tied up girl is just fucking loves it. Like the next morning, she's just like, thank you so much, Sam, with like a big old kiss and smooch on the face, and then moving on with her life. It's a very confusingly awful premise. But I don't know. I feel like the rapist thing was just something that they added in because they're like, we need a reason for him to get arrested in the beginning of the movie, because it doesn't seem to really define anything else about him throughout the rest of the movie. But apparently he has some insanely high sperm count, and after
they say that his spermatozoon count is the highest they've ever seen. So they're going to let him off the hook for all the rapes if he agrees to join MedTech. Is it?
I think it's MedTech, yeah. And
so they're going to let him off the hook, and he just has to impregnate as many women as he can for them. So they're going to go on a road trip. They're going to go into Frogtown. Now, they have to cross a border. They have to go across Border Patrol. It's him, it's Spangle, and the other chick has a ridiculous name. What is her name here?
Her name is... Hold on. I actually have it. It's just later on in my... The hot one with the slick back hair, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
Sentinella.
Sentinella.
Which makes her sound like she's the DJ in fucking Salt and Pepper. Like it's Salt, Pepper, and Sentinella.
That would be sweet if she was.
She's the only nudity in this movie, as far as I recall. I was only like half watching it this morning. But
they wanted Spangle to do nude scenes, but she refused once the time came. She was like, "No, we're skipping ahead and don't bring this up yet." But the Dance of the Three Snakes, they wanted her to be naked. Don't jump into it because we got lots to talk about there.
We won't. That's an important scene.
But they're going to cross the border into Frogtown, okay? And she hands the border guard a note, and I kept trying to see what was on the note, and I finally paused it. I got to look at it. It's just a piece of paper. In the middle of it is just printed in big words the word "pass" in big letters. So there's nothing else on the paper. It just says "pass." That's all it says.
That's amazing. So the first like legitimate note that's not plotline based that I have written down is it just says, "What the fuck even is that nightgown?" When they're first camping out that first night and Spangle's trying to make sure that Sam is aroused, she's wearing this weird like camo bikini underwear. She just kind of
Yeah.
Yep.
struts around, and
And
I'm
then
like,
when she turns around, the lace like covers her whole butt, and it's like flapping around in the wind. I'm like, you wanted to turn him on with that? What?
but she's not allowed to bang him. She's just there to make sure that he's, still got some bullets in the chamber or whatever. And then the one military chick's like, I'm feral, but I need to know if you live up to your reputation. Which is, again, like, it's insanity that it's just like...
He does not have a reputation as a great lover. He has a reputation as a man who forces himself upon every woman he comes across.
Unless he's being asked
you
to.
You guys think this is hilarious. I just think this is really outdated and offensive.
Oh, it definitely
just
is.
my thoughts.
But I think it's comedically just like missing the point. Like, because there's a point in this where I can't help but think of one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Roddy Piper, reading this script and being like, "Yep, you know what? I'm walking away from wrestling. This is the movie I need to make." And like, thinking I believe he really thought this was going to be it. This was going to be the movie that was going to like send him out into the stratosphere where he would never have to wrestle again. He would be as much of a big name actor as Hulk Hogan, as far as like wrestling turned actor. And I don't even know if this movie... There's no way this movie was like even remotely a box office success. Like, this had to have barely even been in theaters.
No, I can't see that. I can't either.
They're so far detached in their approach to rape, like they just don't understand it or like see. It's just so absurd. It's just absurdity. It's all it is, Scott. That's the only reason I find it so fucking hilarious is that you create a movie where the main character is a rapist and he's forced by women to be a rapist in this world where mutant frogs exist. Like,
but see, this is
it's funnier on paper than it is in real life, though. Like, this is like I could have done without all of the movie before they actually get to fucking Frogtown. Because once they get to Frogtown, all the rapiness kind of takes a backseat. I mean, obviously it's still there, and at the end he then has they save this hair. Oh, okay, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So was this the first movie that Roddy Piper did?
I think it may have been. This is before They Live. I know that category.
Okay. All right. Because he's basically playing the same fucking character. But in any case, it's pretty uncomfortable when they're going to Frogtown. I actually didn't know if they were going to make it, if that was an actual place, or if the whole movie was just them in the desert finding vagrants and forcing him to impregnate them, and then the women are thankful.
if that had been the movie, I never would have picked it. This would have been another R Squad, and we just never would have fucking touched it.
But the thing is that to Frogtown, Hellman and company are an R Squad. That's what they are.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing and I keep stressing this. I really think that the element of him, I genuinely believe the element of him being a rapist is like a last-second addition in the front of the movie because it doesn't really make sense with the rest of the film at all.
I get what you're saying, but I have to disagree. I think it was the first fucking thing that they put in the screenplay and promptly forgot about because they're all doing massive amounts of blow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I guarantee there was cocaine on the set. Now how the frogs were able to do it?
Guarantee that. Everybody knows that.
What do you think? A sober mind came up with "Hell Comes to Frogtown"?
Yeah.
I can fix this. At the beginning of the movie, where he's tied up to the chair and the dad's going to kill him because he had sex with the daughter, if they hadn't said, "Oh, the daughter's recanted her story now that she's found out she's pregnant," if it had just been, Sam Hell had. By the way, his name's not Hellman. His name's Sam Hell. But if you want to call him Hell Man for the rest of this recording, I'm totally cool with it.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Because
it's Sam Hell.
I'm pretty sure that he was referred to as Sam Hellman in the when he's getting checked out and has the codpiece put on.
No, it's Sam Hell. That's the whole point of the title. Is Hell Comes to Frogtown.
I know. No, I fucking get that. Come on.
Well, the first thing
You're messing with me now.
The first thing they show is a documentation that says "Wanted Sam Hell." So
Yeah, but isn't that his nickname? And then when he gets into, I'm not. Listen, I'm arguing this just for the sake of arguing. I don't really care to go back and watch the movie to find out.
I'm going to consult IMDb.
I'm almost positive that there's documentation or like his arm bracelet or something in that scene with the black nurse that is telling him about like, oh, you're gonna go do this and we're gonna blow your balls off if you don't or something like that. And I'm almost positive that I saw Hellman because I just assumed his name was Sam Hell.
Yeah,
Sam Hell.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Sam Hell. He's coming to Frogtown. That's the name of the movie. But then I was like, oh, but it's like a shortened version of his real name.
Well, I've watched this 25 times. You probably watched it 3/4 of the time.
Yes.
There's only one quote that I had to pull out of the movie and write down to make sure I remembered to bring it up. And it's, I've been trained in seduction techniques.
Yes. Don't rust your diaper stud is a pretty good line.
I would like to put that line directly in front of "You're not responding to my manliness" from
Student Bodies.
From Student Bodies.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and let's get to Frogtown.
Let's get to Frogtown. We meet Farmer Vincent.
We get into the bar and we're introduced
to
also known as Looney Tunes, Farmer Vincent.
Looney Tunes, and he's there, and he's a little Rory Calhoun. You see him standing there like a bunch of little Rory Calhouns.
His old man teeth are so white, it really kind of broke my suspension of disbelief. I can handle people in shitty frog costumes, but those pearly whites just really bugged the shit out of me.
The one frog that's wearing the beanie cap, or whatever, the cap that Apu, or not Apu, the little monkey wears in Aladdin. What are those caps called?
Apu. Oh, the fez?
Fez cap. Yeah, he's got a little fez cap.
Oh my god, I did not know where you were going with that.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. You helped me. I pulled me out of a jam there. Okay, that one particular frog costume looks just like the Goombas from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Absolutely. You know, here's the nicest thing I can say about this movie is that like they actually did a good job on those costumes for it being a B movie. You know, like the facial prosthetics actually aren't complete garbage.
Yeah. No, it's not bad, but you can also tell why they waited an hour to show these things in the movie.
Yeah. Well, when they get to that Frogtown bar, I can't help but think how much money was required to actually film this movie when, like, it's just a cocaine dream. That's all this is. Like, it's a shitty pun that some dude who was snorting his brains out was like, we can make money on this.
Yeah,
we need to make money because we're running out. Damn it.
Of cocaine.
So poor fucking. I mean, not poor. He was a whatever. But Roddy Piper. This came out.
Think Roddy Piper bankrolled this?
Well, here's the thing. So Roddy Piper. This movie came out in, I want to say 87 or 88. Like,
I thought it was 86, but I'll believe you.
Yeah, but like right around then. So when I started rewatching wrestling, I started on the first episode of Raw, which aired at the tail end of 1993. And the first time that they bring out Roddy Piper, he's being made fun of by Jerry Lawler. And all Jerry Lawler talks about is the movie Hell Comes to Frogtown. So, like, 7 years after the fact, they're still bringing up this movie to him. Like, hey, yeah, you left to be in Hell Comes to Frogtown. Like,
that's so meta. I don't even know how I feel about that.
Like, he could not escape this decision. They never bring up They Live because they know that was actually a good movie. But Hell Comes to Frogtown.
That shit is untouchable.
Yeah, no, it's flawless.
Okay, so Spangle gets taken by the frog people, and Rowdy gets knocked out. Now the tables are turned here because a frog woman is now going to try and rape Roddy.
Yeah, she's.
So, I actually thought that it was going to happen too. I was like, oh, Adam picked this because that frog is going to bang Roddy Piper.
Nope, she's just one horny toad.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Matt, you can go to hell.
I want to quit the podcast. That pun was so bad.
Because it was so good and we'll never top it.
Well, I mean, we're gonna top that like that toad is gonna top Roddy Piper.
I'm sorry, but you can't follow that, Scott. You can't follow it. Yeah.
I'm not trying. Trust me, I'm not trying. So that was really good, Matt. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm gonna give you a nice little butt tap when we see each other in a couple weeks. But the next scene is the harem scene. And you guys cannot sit there and tell me that scene isn't so weird and uncomfortable when they're
most of this movie is weird and uncomfortable. I like it, but it's weird and uncomfortable in every way, shape, or form. I mean, we're getting to what's the highlight of this movie. It's the moment that everyone remembers from Hell Comes to Frogtown.
The three snakes.
The dance of the three snakes.
So why are they snakes though? Because they're toads. They're frogs. They're amphibians. Like it's not analogous, really. Snakes are not even close to being a frog.
Well,
here, take this line. Have this line. It'll all make more sense in a minute.
Sorry, I was trying to say something, but you meant cocaine. Okay,
Yes.
Matt, you cut that. Cut that cocaine.
I believe the implication. I believe the implication is that this particular frog has 3 penises.
Oh, wow! This is blowing my mind like that time we blew Adam's mind when we told him that that brain damage was actually about drug abuse.
Or that time that you found out that Johnny Depp was in Tusk.
Wait,
I still think that's not going to show up.
Matt, on your Facebook the other day, you said something about you didn't realize a movie was about drug addiction. What was the movie you were watching?
Oh shit! What was it? The Fly. I think that David Cronenberg's The Fly is definitely an allegory for drug addiction as well.
All right, I don't feel so bad about brain damage anymore.
I mean, I feel like you should still feel bad years later about brain damage because the alien is literally pouring blue piss onto that dude's brain, giving him a high.
What? How did they do that? They never show that in the movie.
Yeah. We actually show that 15 times. You're fucking with me, I know it. Matt, cut all this. I'm just
so
I am the punching bag of the group today. So here's so the implication. Okay, Dance of the Three Snakes. He has 3 penises. He fucks them to death, right?
Most likely, yeah.
Adam,
unless
pick this movie.
unless he had like a huge group of them of women there that he's been like tearing through them, because I think they managed to get all the girls out that they meant to get out. They saved them all, and I can't.
Live.
I'm saying like they saved like 8 or 9 girls, right? What did he steal? Like 50 girls? He must have been fucking them, and if he fucked 40 of them to death and they're only getting like 8 of them out, then yeah. But I think they got out everyone they meant to get out. By the way, these girls are damaged goods for the rest of their lives. They got fucked by a frog man with 3 penises. This is terrible. They're probably
But I don't think that Sam Hell really cares, because at the end he is so excited that he's going to get to have sex with everybody. He's like
gonna...
got the kind of like shrug and look at the camera, freeze frame credits kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. I honestly expected, like, the first time around, I expected the movie to end with him being like, no, I'm in love with Spangle now, and I only want to be with her. But nope, he's just going to keep on. He's just going to get down to fucking. He's totally okay with it.
He's so glad that down to fucking is still a thing that we say.
It's a thing that we say, not that we do.
I can categorically say that is factual on my side of the room. So then, like, I don't know why I blanked out the last 20 minutes of this movie, and all of a sudden there was an explosion.
Because the last 20 minutes of the movie is Fury Road.
Yeah, it just falls apart.
Honest to God, on YouTube, and I'll send you the link to this, somebody has spliced together scenes from Hell Comes to Frogtown with the audio from the trailer for Mad Max Fury Road, and it works so good.
Oh, it absolutely does, because this is 100% probably the best, worst Mad Max ripoff movie. Like,
Are there that many Mad Max ripoffs though?
There's a pretty decent amount. There's one that I keep considering picking for the show, but I want to rewatch it first, called Exterminators from the Year 3000.
Wow. Don't pick that.
yeah. Actually, I've seen that. Don't pick that.
Okay.
We're not getting a lot of material out of that.
If the guy that picked Rotor says don't pick it, don't pick it.
Okay, fair enough. I will step away from it. I'm stepping off the cliff. We're not going forward with it. Is there anything else we have to say about Hell Comes to Frogtown?
Not really. He gets attacked by a chainsaw, but the guy he has to, the chainsaw runs out of gas, and he's got to put it back in, blah, blah, blah. He saves Spangle, he saves all the girls, they go on a car chase, and then they blow up the frogs.
Yep.
Movie's over.
Movie's over.
Wait. So I have one question. So they kill the bad guy who's in charge of Frogtown. Doesn't change there's still going to be a bunch of frogs.
No, there's still frogs, yeah.
So have you guys seen any of the sequels? Do they have
fuck no.
other frog warlords that they need to fight?
Let me see.
Is there the bullet maker and the the other guy?
Let me take a look.
I don't know. I've never seen the sequels. The sequel has an even a dirt poor rating on IMDb and stuff, and it's just
Return to Frogtown.
I can't bring myself to do that.
Starring...
And I'm sure as hell not going to watch the Zen filmmaking ones that the other guy did.
Let's see. Starring Lou Ferrigno.
I all of a sudden I don't want to watch this.
Let's see. It is directed by the original director. Let's see. Someone else has replaced him. Oh my god. You're going to watch it, Adam.
What's happening?
Roddy Piper's been replaced by Robert Zadar.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I remember talking about this when we did Maniac Cop.
Yeah, Robert Zadar plays the main character, Sam Hell, in place of Piper. In the film, Sam Hell infiltrates Frogtown again to rescue Texas Rocket Ranger, played by Lou Ferrigno, who crash lands.
Wait, so Robert Zadar, does he have what disease? Oh, cherubism. He actually has a legitimate medical condition. Do you guys feel bad now or no?
Nah.
No. He's a movie star. He was in some of the greatest movies ever made, man. He was in Maniac Cop, and he was in he was in Samurai Cop too, actually.
Oh my god. He was also in a movie called Hot Chili.
And he also did so the director of Hell Comes to Frogtown actually made all 3 Frogtown movies. He also made The Toad Warrior. So this was his franchise.
That's such a good name for a sequel, though.
It is a great name for a sequel. Holy shit! The cover for Max Hell Frog Warrior looks horrendous.
Look at that! The Toad Warrior. They're blatantly telling you they're ripping off Mad Max.
That's why it's so funny.
It's perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's all I've got. So what did you guys watch this week?
Since we're talking about movies with nobody that's even remotely likable, I'll go first. Just last night, Megan and I watched a film that got rave reviews in 2016. Have you heard of it? It's called The Lobster.
I have
heard of it, yeah.
I've heard mixed things about it from people who've actually seen it that aren't critics.
Yeah, I did not like it. Megan liked it because it was different. But this is the best way that I can explain it. And it was 2 hours, and it felt like you felt every second of that 2 hours. It was like the Dance of the Three Snakes. It was excruciating because take all the awkward dialogue and personalities in a Wes Anderson film, okay? Take away any charisma that might give the movie, and you basically have everybody in The Lobster. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, the concept behind the film, which I was totally down to watch it. This wasn't like she twisted my arm right. It's a dystopian society where everyone has to be in a relationship. If you're not, you go to this hotel where you have 45 days to have a new relationship form with other single people. And if you don't find somebody, if you don't make a match in that 45 days, you are turned into an animal of your choosing. So Colin Farrell, with a weird fat belly, goes. His wife leaves him or something, and he has no personality. Like, it's basically like Colin Farrell's his method acting was just to take like 4 Xanax a day. He just is super awkward and has like no lines. And he goes to the hotel. His wife leaves him, and he decides that if he doesn't get through the program, he will become a lobster. And so he goes through the program, whatever. I'm not going to give anything away, but everyone in the movie is awful. Everybody is totally selfish and just mean. Just everything is just terrible. Like all the factions of society are. It's straight dystopia. Like, it's made like a Wes Anderson Children of Man. That's about as best as example as I can give. There's one redeeming person. It's Rachel Weisz. But you just have to feel bad for the whole movie. So, yeah, that's what we watched. And I don't know why it got such great reviews, because it made me squirm, because it's like really dark. It's got some really absurd Wes Anderson, awkward, funny moments, but they're very few and far between, because most of it is people just doing really dark shit to each other. But it's and it overuses the slow-mo. There are like 4 scenes that are 3 minutes apiece that are all slow motion. It's crazy. I don't know, man. It is a really, really weird film. And if anybody that's listening has seen it and would like to give their 2 cents, give me a reason to not be so dismissive of it. Because, like last week, I talked about The Vivitch, and it was, like I like that movie. It's not like I don't like smart movies. I just don't get why people thought, like why critics thought that The Lobster was so good.
Well, I'm looking at the IMDb trivia for that, and it's saying that actually in a previous iteration of the script, another person had gone through that program and decided to turn themselves into a frog, and then there had been a nuclear war. I can't even fucking finish.
Thank you so much. I was actually like getting into a really depressive spiral thinking about the film, and you just brought me right back out. So I appreciate that, Adam.
The only way that I could enjoy a movie like that is if they took it to its absurd conclusion, and you totally did crazy shit. People were turning into animals.
No, they don't do any. You don't see anybody change into an animal. It's straight. It's the most negative down movie I've seen in a very, very long time.
So I watched a documentary. I got it through the Netflix disc because I'm one of the few people that still gets the discs in the mail. I highly recommend it, especially to the 2 of you. It is called Machete Maidens Unleashed. I got it because it is the first documentary from the guys who did Electric Boogaloo, The Rise and Fall of Canon Films. This one is all about Roger Corman and all of the other filmmakers who started going to South Africa to use their cheap film stock for like the 70s and 80s, and that whole like exploitation era that took place in just movies in the jungle. It is absolutely fascinating. It's delightful. And if you're on our Facebook page, I took an interview clip with John Landis out of context and posted it in there. But it is if you like documentaries for the same reason that I like documentaries about film, is that it's just kind of like it gives you either a memory of a movie that you've liked and hadn't seen in a while, or you end up walking away with like 10 to 15 movies that you kind of want to take the time to Netflix and watch later. Then I highly recommend it, because there is a lot of good garbage in there. I just discovered a movie called Up from the Depths that is apparently one of the many Roger Corman Jaws ripoffs that I didn't know about.
I've heard about The Depths. I'm pretty sure that's on YouTube.
Oh, I will need to watch that as soon as possible because that thing, unlike Jaws where they had shark issues, the issue with this was that they only ever bothered to make the face of the monster and nothing else. so, kind of excited to see that movie. That got put onto my must-see list very quickly. That's all I've got. I believe that time on the clock says that it's time for some flavor of love. See what I did there? Because he has a clock around his neck.
Time it is.
All right.
I just don't want to end up repeating myself and having the audience be like, "No, you already told us about that episode." So do you guys remember I told you how at the first elimination ceremony that girl shit on the floor?
Yeah, and then you said that
then she got kicked out the next episode,
yeah,
right?
because he couldn't deal with it.
No, he let her stay the next episode.
What?
Yeah, he was like, you shit on the floor, but I think you're cool, so I'm going to let you stay. Okay?
Okay.
You guys remember? Okay. So Scott's making me nervous because he said that girl got eliminated. So let's see. Audience, if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty
but this
sure
shit
you
never
said
gets old.
I'm pretty sure you said that she got eliminated at the end of episode 2.
No, okay, so then we must have done episode 3 because he does finally eliminate that girl at the end. He goes, I was trying to get over the fact that you shit on my floor, but I just can't get over the fact that you shit on my floor, so you gotta go. So that's where that ended. Of course, everybody's doing terrible, awful, racist things, eating fried chicken, getting drunk all the time. The show is just the epitome of fucking trash. It's terrible. It doesn't portray anybody in a good light. It's just so bad. So episode 4 opens with Flav waking up in a bed with 2 of the girls from the house in bed with him. Did they have sex? Did they do stuff the night before? I don't know. Kind of heavily implies they did, though. So, to continue the dehumanizing of these women even further, the first competition that they have to do that day is everybody's got to give Flav a striptease.
Oh my god!
So they're sitting in the living room of this mansion at like 10 in the fucking morning. They're doing this. Everybody gets on their skankiest outfits. They got to give Flav a striptease. Now, blah 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 blah. Honestly, the show is like Saw or something. He's trying to convince them to kill themselves. I think on next week's episode, Flav is going to tie them ass to mouth, like end to end to end, so they just see who gives up first. So, all right. So the elderly goblin, Flavor Flav, he's making them all grind on his lap and stuff. And he's holding a bullhorn the whole time he's doing it. And he's just screaming like, yeah, woo, into this bullhorn. Just awful, terrible, terrible stuff. So Flav makes this one girl do this crazy the one girl wins the elimination, and he builds it up. He's like, we're going to go to one of my favorite places. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. And he builds it up to be this awesome, fancy thing. But that obviously wasn't in the production budget because he just takes this girl to Kentucky Fried Chicken and they eat KFC.
Oh my god!
God damn, that's awful. That is so awful.
All right, so one of the 2 girls that had spent the night, sleeping in Flav's bed, accuses another one of the girls of having sucked his dick throughout the night. And the girls are like, "Well, did you see this happen?" And she goes, "No, but I could hear it." And they're all like, "Well, what does a blowjob sound like?" And she's like, like starts making all these noises and shit. So the girl that gets taken to KFC, 2 girls won the stripping elimination. So the one girl gets taken to KFC. The other girl, she gets to go picking strawberries. Okay, so like it's just this like vastly different. It's like you're choosing favorites here, Flav. What the fuck? It's so cruel to do to people.
Oh my god!
So it turns out that it was a really bad idea for that girl to have started the blowjob rumor, because it turns out that she had talked to the girl, that she had accused of giving a blowjob, and it admitted to her that she had done a bunch of porn. So really bad idea to make an enemy out of that girl, because she goes to Flav and she says, this girl told me everything. She's been in porn. This is her porn name. She told me the production company she worked for, blah, 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 blah. So Flav's like, okay, I'm going to go do some research on the internet and blah, blah, blah. So it takes us all up to the elimination ceremony. So at the elimination ceremony, he asks the girl, like, have you ever done porn? Is this something that you've ever done before? Be honest with me. And she says, no, Flav, I've never done that before, not in a million years. And out of his coat, he literally pulls a computer printout picture of her naked with 2 fingers in her pussy lying on bed. And he goes, oh, no, you've never done porn before. Okay, I believe you. And so that girl gets eliminated. Everybody, knows what time it is. And that's the end of episode 4.
Wow. So, hey, I have a question. Do you think it would have been a lot funnier if he would have had the production company, because they obviously were in on it, if he would have had them find a DVD case of the porn she was in and pull that out of his coat, be like, what about this?
Or if he found a
VHS
VHS tape in the woods and was like, yeah, I found this out in the woods.
Yeah, Flame's like, I want to think about this. Give me a second. He goes on a real introspective walk, and he just finds some porn mags shoved in a tree trunk. So, did I tell you, by the way, that the name of the production company that makes this show is called Mindless Entertainment?
Yes, you brought that up every time.
God damn it.
All right, perfect. Fucking awesome. So we're all caught up. We're all caught up to episode. We're up to episode 5. I can see where I had written down 1 or 2 notes for episode 5. I must have got depressed and shut it off. So I will. I'm gonna start continuing the series again. I'll watch some episodes of Flavor of Love sometime this week. Get some notes jotted down for the next time we record.
Yay!
Hurrah!
So that was Hell Comes to Frogtown from 1988 as picked by Adam. Don't forget that you can always submit your picks for what you'd like us to watch by emailing us at hmnpodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like a shout-out in the beginning of the episode, just like we threw to our buddy Don in the beginning of this one, you can always go to our Patreon, patreon.com/hmnpodcast, and send us a donation. We're not asking for a ton of money from people, in all honesty. If you can't spare the money that we have on the different things, that's totally fine. But if you are able to throw as little as $1 a month to us, it goes a long way, and it's allowing us to do this podcast in March 10th. The 3 of us will finally meet each other. We're going to be working a convention, and I am, again, about 90% sure that we will be doing some type of live podcast from New Jersey, Philly area, which should be really cool. And there's a lot of stuff going on for possibly us getting out to the West Coast for a convention in Los Angeles, but we're still working out the details on that. Thank you guys for all of your support. Is there any other way that you can follow us or listen to us, Scott and Adam?
Yeah, absolutely. You can always find us on Twitter at HMN Podcast. We're always on there, interacting, let us know what's up. Yeah, absolutely. We always post new episodes. What about you, Scott?
You can go on our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/horror movie night. You can also listen to us, rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. And you can send us emails to hmnpodcast@gmail.com. As long as you have some sort of spicy story for us, we'll read it on air. Well, Matt will read it on air and probably butcher your name.
Probably. Thank you guys.
I can't pronounce this name, so I'm just going to spell it out. Smith.
Smite?
I don't know how that's yeah.
A Marto. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with something else to discuss, so have some pleasant dreams.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.